22 bizarre but true fascinating facts you probably didn't know about space. Interestingly enough, space is not as far away as it might seem. It begins at the Kármán line, just about 62 miles above Earth's surface. So, in a sense, space is just a short drive away. The footprints left by astronauts on the moon won't disappear. That's right, because there's no wind or water on the moon to erode them, those footprints could be around for millions of years. And speaking of out-of-this-world facts, the largest volcano isn't on Earth, it's on Mars. Olympus Mons is its name, and it's nearly 3 times the height of Mount Everest. That's pretty gigantic, isn't it? Did you know that space isn't just about stars and planets? Yeah, there's actually a lot of junk up there too. Old satellites, spent rocket stages, and fragments from collisions make up millions of pieces of space debris orbiting our Earth. It's a serious issue because it poses a risk to satellites and spacecraft. Imagine a giant water reservoir, but not on Earth, in space. This vast amount of water is actually floating in a cloud around a quasar, which is a supermassive black hole surrounded by a disk of gas and dust. It's fascinating to think about how much water is out there, isn't it? So, what color do you think the universe is? If you guessed beige, you're right. Scientists have found that when you blend all the light in the universe, the resulting color resembles a shade of beige. They've even given it a special name, cosmic latte. Did you know that you can cry in space but your tears won't fall? That's right. Because there's no gravity, your tears just kind of form a bubble around your eye. So even if you feel like shedding a tear or two, in space, they won't drop down your cheeks like they do on Earth. Imagine mountains that don't touch the ground. Sounds like something out of a fantasy, right? Well, in space, there are such things as floating mountains. These aren't like any mountains we have on Earth. They're more like giant asteroids that float freely through space. Here's a mind-blowing fact. The sun's mass accounts for about 99.86% of the entire solar system's mass. That's almost everything. Everything else we know and see, like planets, moons, and comets, make up just the tiny remainder. Did you know that astronauts can grow up to 2 inches taller while they're in space? This happens because the lack of gravity allows their spine to expand. However, they return to their normal height once they're back on Earth. Interestingly, Earth isn't a perfect sphere. Due to its rotation, it is slightly flattened at the poles and wider at the equator. This shape is known as an oblate spheroid. Imagine experiencing a day that lasts for more than 24 hours. Well, in the Arctic and Antarctic circles, there's a phenomenon known as the midnight sun. During the summer months, the sun doesn't set for more than a day, and at certain points it can be visible for up to 72 hours straight. Did you know that space has a smell? Astronauts report that after coming back inside their spacecraft from a spacewalk, their suits smell a bit like seared steak or even welding fumes. Quite peculiar, isn't it? Here's another interesting tidbit. Shadows in space are pitch black. Unlike on Earth, where the air scatters light and softens shadows, space has no atmosphere to scatter the sunlight. This means shadows can be incredibly dark and stark. Imagine a day longer than a year. Well, that's a reality on Venus. One day on Venus lasts about 243 Earth days, while its year takes about 225 Earth days. So, a single day on Venus is longer than an entire year on Earth. Mind-boggling, right? Imagine this. If you could line up 1 million Earths next to each other, they would all fit inside the sun. That's right, our sun is so huge that 1 million Earths can comfortably fit within it. Mind-blowing, isn't it? Here's a fun space fact. You can't use regular pens in space. Why? Well, pens need gravity to pull the ink onto the paper. In the weightlessness of space, astronauts use a special kind of pen that works without gravity. Now let's talk about something truly out of this world. On Jupiter, it rains helium. Yes, you heard that right. Helium, the same gas that fills our party balloons, falls as rain on this giant planet. Just another day in the wild weather world of our solar system. Did you know that the moon is actually moving away from Earth? Yep, it's true. Each year, the moon drifts about 1.5 inches further away from us. It might not seem like much, but over millions of years it really adds up. Did you know that the largest asteroid in our solar system isn't round? It's actually quite irregular in shape, which is pretty fascinating when you think about it. Here's a slightly creepy fact about space. It can actually make your skin peel off. Without the protection of Earth's atmosphere, the harsh environment of space exposes your skin to extreme conditions. Imagine something spinning 600 times in just 1 second. That's how fast neutron stars can spin. These incredibly dense remnants of exploded stars are some of the fastest spinning objects in the universe. So, we've explored some pretty amazing and sometimes eerie aspects of space today. From irregular asteroids to skin-peeling conditions and super-fast spinning neutron stars, the universe is full of wonders and mysteries waiting to be discovered.